Howdy folks, and welcome back to Grizz's Place. Today I have to do a video that, doggone it, I really don't want to do, but it's kind of been building up. It's been a burr in my saddle blanket for quite a while now, and I just got to get it out of my system. This here video is all about why I hate Matt at Demolition Range. I mean, really, people, what is not to hate about Matt at Demolition Range? He's young, he's fit, he's good looking, he has hair on the top of his head. And, while we're on the subject of hair, I do have to give him props. Whatever the heck that means, but that's what all the hip young kids say. Give him props. So, I do have to give Matt props. Because, lately he does at least, have that nice little starter beard. I mean, when he first started out, before his starter beard came in, I mean, am I the only one who took a look at him and said, oh great, another baby-faced kid running around the woods with firearms and no adult supervision? So anyway, he's at least trying, and we can only hope that, poor Matt, as he grows up a little bit, he may be able to grow a proper man beard. I sure hope so. And as far as adult supervision, I mean, his poor wife, Mare, she tries. She really does. Bless her heart. But, she just can't ride herd on him. I mean, he's like a 3-year-old. Maybe a 2-year-old. I mean, he thinks about something and he goes out and does it. Okay, more reasons why I hate the guy. Okay, he has not one, not two, but 3 successful YouTube channels. I mean, each one of them, I think I checked last night, Demolition Ranch has over 2 million subscribers. Now, granted, I have 2 YouTube channels, Grizzly Dave Cowboy, I think I'm at 850, just 850 something. It's not 850,000? No? Okay, 852. Yeah, that sounds better. 852 subscribers. And my new channel that you're watching this on, Grizz's Place, I think we're up to 47. Yeah, I hope that's right. 47 subscribers. And, Matt, he has 3 channels. They're all over 1 million subscribers. I mean, 3 successful channels. Okay, if you can't hate a guy for that, I don't know what you can hate him for. Okay, next up on the reasons to hate Matt at Demolition Ranch is, he gets to go out and do all these fun things with firearms. I mean, he gets to, shoot things and shoot guns. And, he has a place to go do that. He has access to, all of those different guns. He probably has an ammunition sponsor that pays for all of that ammunition that goes through there. I mean, and, that gets us to his firearms collection. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly. That man has a few firearms. I mean, the man has, 3 Barretts? I mean, I don't know about you. I couldn't afford to buy a box of ammo for a Barrett. And he has 3 Barretts, and he goes out and shoots a couple boxes through them every time he makes a video, it seems. I mean, you gotta hate him for that. And then, he does have a lovely family. I mean, he has, cute kids, and I guess I can't hate him for that. My kids, when they were young, were cute, and now, they're good-looking adults. And, he has a beautiful young wife. Well, yeah, so there, Matt. I have a beautiful young wife, too. Yeah. And, she's still young and beautiful because I robbed the cradle. So, I guess it's kind of a wash there. But, I mean, the things he gets to do, just like, a few weeks ago or whatever it was, he took out his old truck and he blew it up with a tank. A tank, man. He blew it up with a tank. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm sitting there watching, first and foremost, oh, how cool is this? I want to do it. But also, at the same time, I'm thinking, oh, man, that truck's in better shape than my truck. Man, if I could just get a hold of that, maybe I wouldn't break down on the side of the road as much. But no, he's taking it out there, and he's blowing it up. I mean, how cool is that? Oh, I hate him for it. Next up, he's a veterinarian. And when I was a kid, I wanted nothing more than to be a veterinarian, because I love the critters. I do. I love the cats and the horses and the dogs, and I just love critters. And I want to be a veterinarian. And well, some well-meaning guidance counselor or someone, I mean, they, they had the best of intentions. They said, now, little Grizz, to be a veterinarian, you're going to need a lot of math and science. So it would be best if you kind of started applying yourself in those areas now. And, I don't know. I guess I just didn't had what it took. That kind of scared me off. So, I mean, Matt has my dream job, veterinarian, getting to help all those critters. And along the lines of veterinarian, one thing I've told Ms. Grizz is, if the Powerball lottery retirement scheme ever comes through and I'm able to retire, I want to volunteer at the local animal shelter, a few days a week, just to keep me active, while I'm not off shooting cowboy matches or whatever, just to, take care of those shelter animals. You know what Ms. Grizz told me? As much as she wanted to get me out of the house, she said no. I'm like, no. She said, if you go down to the shelter 3 or 4 times a week, then 3 or 4 times a week, you're going to come home with a new critter. And darn it, she's right. Anyway, back to why I hate Matt. I mean, how cool is this guy? One of his channels is Vet Ranch. If you haven't seen it, then, it's him and several other veterinarians that have this charity set up to where they can provide veterinary care for shelter animals that otherwise would be put down. Because, basic local shelters, they don't have the funds or the resources or the veterinarians on staff to meet some of the more involved needs of these shelter animals. So through, Vet Ranch and that charity, some animals are getting a second chance at a forever home. And I mean, just how cool is that? That one, I really want to hate him for that, because but I can't. I guess I just can't hate him for that. And another thing that I hate Matt at Demolition Ranch about is he has all of the cool camera equipment. I mean, he has those fancy digital SLRs with the video mode, and he has, the fancy high speed, so he can show the super slow motion. And goodness gracious, great balls of fire, the man even has 2 drones. Not 1, but 2 drones. Now, I ain't even got 1 drone. You can call home and ask my wife. But I did. I did get some aerial footage. Well, I tried to anyway. See, what I did is, the only cameras I got is, I got this flip video camera that my kid got for opening a bank account, and it does okay. It's about, about 50 years old or something, but it works okay. And then I got 2 of these Midland XTC series cameras, and, don't get me wrong, I love these cameras, but this one here, I've had it, 8 years. I plumb wore it out to where I'm really down to only 1 camera that I can film with. Anyway, let me get back to that aerial footage that I was talking about. See, what I did is I stole some balloons. No, I borrowed some balloons. Yeah, that's it. I borrowed some balloons, them helium-filled kinds, you know, the kinds you take a, ew, and then you talk all funny. Anyway, yeah, the helium-filled balloons. And I tied 3 or 4 of those, and then I put this camera underneath of it. I didn't have the head strap mount on there. Boing, boing, boing. Anyway, so I had it hanging upside down, and I let go of them balloons. And about the time that string cleared my fat little fingers, I realized what I'd done. I didn't have no way to get it down. So I had to run in the house and get something to shoot them balloons down with. And I'll tell you, by the time I decided on what to use to shoot them balloons down with, and just in case you're wondering, I wound up going with a Marlin Golden 39A. Love those lever actions. Anyway, by the time I got back outside, them balloons were way up in the sky, so I lined up my shot real careful and cracked off 3 shots. And I'll tell you, even that 22 Plankster guy would be jealous of my shots, because I popped all 3 of them balloons and boom! That camera came back down to earth. Come to think of it, that may be about the time this one quit working. I don't know. Anyway, pay no attention to the wardrobe change. Another thing that I hate Matt at Demolition Ranch about is he has superhuman abilities. Come on, I know I'm not the only one to notice this. The man has superhuman abilities. Well, Grizz, what are you talking about? Well, for one thing, he has perfect recall, perfect memory. I mean, every single song on the radio, he knows all the lyrics to. I mean, he's driving along, just singing off to all of them. Now, I'll tell you what, in my car, I got one of them memory thumbstick drive thingies, and I only got 5 or 6 songs on there. I don't know the words to all them. And here's Matt, he knows the words to just about every single song. I mean, that just ain't right, folks. I mean, that's not human. And then other superhuman abilities, the man has some way, I don't know if it's technology or, if, he swallowed kryptonite as a baby, or I don't know what it is. He has the ability to multiply time in a day. I mean, he has to. All the things he does. I mean, he goes to work, and he films his vlog at home, and he goes out and films Demolition Ranch stuff. And for anybody out there who's ever done any filming, you know what it's like. I mean, I know what it's like. If you have, let's say it's, a 4-minute video you want to make, you can count on it taking 4 hours. And that's even before post-production. That's a big fancy word to make you think I know what I'm talking about. That means editing. Yeah. So anytime you throw together a video, it takes a long time. You got to set up. You got to line things up. You got to get the shot. You got to make sure the light's right. Some of us, I kind of cut corners on that. But, I mean, man at Demolition Ranch, I mean, he has all that professional equipment like I was talking about just back yonder. He has them, I mean, his stuff turns out good. He has to put some time into it. He has to be able to stretch time by the time he does all that stuff. Work at home and play with the kids and film Demolition Ranch and film Off the Ranch and film Vet Ranch and spend some time with his lovely wife. And I don't think the man sleeps. I really don't. He can't sleep. I mean, I can't do any of that stuff, but I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day for us mere mortals. I think he must have, 72 hours in his days with everything he does, and he still probably don't sleep. So anyway, that's the basics. I hate to do a hate video because there's too much hate in this world. I mean, but if you can't hate a guy for being successful, I mean, those YouTube channels alone. I mean, he has 3 successful YouTube channels. Demolition Ranch, he gets to go out and shoot stuff, blow stuff up. off the ranch, where it's his daily vlog. You get to see around his beautiful house with a swimming pool. On the subject of swimming pool, when I was just a little grizz, we had a swimming pool too. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, we did. And me and my buddy Jeff, we was out there digging in the dirt for must have been weeks, or at least hours, and we dug us out a hole. And then the next day, we was tired after the digging, so we had to sleep some. Anyway, the next day, we got out there and we put our hole just in the right spot, so that when we pumped the old hand pump, we could put something to divert the water to go into our swimming hole. And we pumped, and we pumped, and then he pumped, and then I pumped, and we pumped that old red hand pump, I don't know, seemed like about a year. It was probably at least half an hour. And there's about half an inch of water in the bottom of our little swimming hole. And anyway, yeah, so Matt at Demolition Ranch, off the ranch, he has his own swimming hole. That's one of them fancy newfangled cement pond ones. Anyway, so back to his channels. There's Demolition Ranch, there's Off the Range, and there's Vet Range. So anyway, that's my video today, guys. Just, I had to get that off of my chest. I mean, why I hate Matt at Demolition Ranch. And whew, I feel a burden lifted off of me. I mean, woo, doggy. I mean, you ought to try it. It gets out all that negative energy. And boy, now I need to think of who I'm going to hate on next. Maybe that 22 Plinkster guy. Yeah, he might be a good one. Or, the Yankee Marshal. Or, Hickok 45. Okay. Not Hickok 45, no. Everyone loves Hickok 45. So anyway, that's it for today. Of course, you have to know this is all in fun. And I'm going to sign off just like, Matt would and say, I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. P.S. If you're one of the 3 people that isn't already a subscriber to Demolition Ranch, Off the Ranch, and Vet Ranch, then you probably don't have internet anyway, and you're not seeing this. But if you haven't ever checked out any of Matt's videos, I suggest you do so. They're a lot of fun. And I'll see you next time.